So we're going to dig into some techniques in a bit more detail, starting with forgetting and the spacing effect. So you've studied hard on the days before the exam, you feel ready, but then the test comes up and it's like your brain has just wiped itself. Why does that happen, and how can you stop it? The German psychologist Ebbinghaus was a pioneer in the study of memory. He was the first to develop evidence-based experimental studies to find out how memory, and more importantly, forgetting, worked. This is the forgetting curve. After just one day, you forget almost half of what you've learned. A week later, it's nearly gone, unless you do something about it. The trick is to relearn material just before you forget it. Each time you relearn, the curve drops off less steeply, so you can wait more time before relearning again. There's a very distinct pattern to this that's the same for everyone. You should review material with the following intervals: 1 day after you first landed, 3 days after the original learning, 7 days after, 14 days after, and finally 30 days after you first introduced the material. This sounds a bit tricky to organize, but it can be quite simple. And even better, it's not only proven to create long-term memory of the subject matter, but it actually saves time compared to cramming. Forgetting actually helps you to remember. When you wait a bit and then try to remember, your brain works harder, and that strengthens memory. It's like exercising your brain. Cramming can make you feel productive, but your brain just doesn't hold on to the info. Spaced learning sticks. Not only will you spend less time overall for an enhanced effect, you will reduce your stress. This is because panic studying at the last minute increases your levels of cortisol, which can fool your brain into thinking it is focusing better. This is cortisol, sometimes called the stress hormone. It's produced by your adrenal glands in response to stress. It's part of your body's fight or flight system. And it helps you respond to danger by increasing blood sugar, improving energy, and sharpening your focus. Why is it produced? Your brain triggers cortisol when it senses a threat, which could be an argument, a fight, or even just an exam. However, if cortisol levels stay high for too long, it can damage your memory and learning, it can disrupt sleep and concentration, it can increase your anxiety, and it can even weaken the immune system. In short, cortisol helps in short bursts, but too much makes it harder to think, learn, and stay healthy. So in order to prevent this, you need to take the stress out of the situation. There's lots of ways of doing this, but the best way is just to get organized. So try it out. When you learn something, review it after 1 day, then again on day 3, then 7, 14, and 30. You will remember way more if you do it this way. It can seem pretty complicated to organize, but I have a simple way of doing it that takes most of the hard work out for you. There will be a link to download my spreadsheet. Each tab is a different subject. Using your syllabus or your teacher's overview, or using a generative AI of your choice and the official syllabus, filling the first column with all the learning objectives or topic titles. For example, in physics could be distance time graphs, term of velocity, efficiency, etc. The spreadsheet will then automatically give you the topics that you need to revise together with the appropriate spacing. It's not pretty, it's not fancy, but it will work. So here's the big idea. Your brain forgets stuff fast unless you fight back. Spaced practice will be your secret weapon. You study a little, you wait, and you review again. And that's how your memory sticks. Cramming might feel like it works, but it just doesn't last, and it makes you stressed. Spaced learning might seem harder at first, but it's easier in the long run. It takes the whole stress out of the situation, and it actually makes your brain stronger. Start small and review often.